2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and stop. To the side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and stop. Okay, hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, to your left, center. Inhale, exhale. Hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, to your left, center. Inhale, exhale. Okay, one more time. Hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your left, to your right, center. Inhale, exhale. Okay, hands your waist, circular movements, relax the ankles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center cross. Knees. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, hands on your waist. Neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, rotating down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Center, hands up. Pull in, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, spread your feet. Okay, turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Turn, stretch it out. Switch. 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 Straighten the front knee. Switch. Center. Switch. 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 Okay, shake it out. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands your waist. Punching. Switch. Side. Switch. And center. Okay, next. Here, alternating. Okay, edge of the hand. Switch. Center circular movements. Okay, center, back fist. Switch. Center. Deep breathing, hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands in waist. Bend your knee. 1, 2, 3.5. Okay, hold it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Close. Low block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Close. Middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Close. High block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Close. All three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2. Close. Extend. Close it up. 1, 2. Low block punch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Close. Middle block punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Close. Okay, high block punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Close. Okay. All three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Close. Push to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. High. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend, turn, roll your wrists, close it up. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. That's a fingertip thrust. Poking, turning it over, roll. Set it up. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, get in a ready position. We'll do a few front kicks. 2 punches and a kick, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. Heel kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Push it out straight. 9, 10. Okay, switch other side. And get your knee up high. 1. Keep the foot vertical. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and switch. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, straight kick up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Knee as straight as possible. 5, relax. 6, 7, 8, 9. Relax the other side. 10. Relax in here. Switch. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, opens up a little more. 8, 9, and 10. Okay, switch. A few round kicks. Ready position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, switch. Work the other side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale. So we also have a kick called the blade of the foot. So that's using like this segment of your foot, where the baby toe is, that edge. So that's actually, when we go like this, that's the blade of the foot. So like in a second form, when you twist, there's not really a front kick. This is a front kick. Then you jump back, 1, 2, 3. This is a blade kick. So that requires a little bit of hip action to do that. So one way of practicing that is we can just stand here, hold, and you go kind of to the corner. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, good. 7, you get a little hip in there. Yeah, so you're trying to get the blade of your foot out. So it looks like you're coming in and cranking your leg like this. Yeah. Because what you're actually doing is, say if you step and you went like this, that could be a blade kick to the hair, to the waist area, or to the thigh, or to the knee. So it's just doing that. So it has so it takes adds a little bit of rotation. Good. That little rotation. So if you look at our movements, okay, shake it out. So if you look at the movements, this is doing that. This is doing that. This is doing that, right? So when we do this like a low block, and you accentuate the sort of edge of your hand, then your hand will create a cleaner movement. Just like this is cleaner than when you just go like this, right? Because it's very crisp. But when you do this, and you do this, when you do this, the turning of the forearm really cleans up the movement because it defines the direction. So if you're doing a chop, then you want to sink the elbow and turn the edge of the hand in. If you go into the neck, you want to define that direction. Because when you do that, then the movement's much more accurate. When you punch, the same thing. When you turn, it creates much more accuracy between this point and that point. So if I'm here, between here and there is your stroke. Between here and here is your stroke. So that's what you need to do in the blue belt level. After you've learned 4 forms, you have to clean up all those movements so that when you learn additional forms, a lot of that fundamental technique or execution is kind of built into your movements. Then you can progress a lot better because memory is just that. If you have great memory, you can memorize a lot of forms, but it doesn't mean your coordination and your understanding, is where it should be. So, we define these movements much better, just like, that's the low block, right? So that's the twist. When we do a middle block, it actually turns like this too. We do a high block, it turns like this too. So you get that edging that gives you a cleaner movement. And why is it cleaner? Because this is the surface you're using. If you're in this first form and you're going a high block, and your low block, it's like this, right? So low block uses this surface. High block. Low block actually can be a press, which is using this part of your forearm, or if you're here, like in second form, you're using this. So the surface that you're using is what you have to make sure you're focusing and you're conscious of that movement. So when you're here and you're uppercutting, then your punch should be coming up like this, right? So what is that? That's direction, right? Thrusting is direction. So those are things that we have to be aware of. But the only way to practice these movements is through repetition. Right? So we stand here like this and just stay. So a lot of the drills that I do, or even that we do in classes, are in a shoulder width stance. So you have upper body, press, press, press. That's just a low block like we do with a punch, right? It's just a combination movement. But how do you get your hand to go here and then thrust? And then thrust to the throat area. So you have a target area. Now, this is actually going right to the throat. This movement is going to the side of the neck. Or, right? So you have that in the fourth form as an action. But this movement you have in a second form. This movement you have in a third form, right? So the difference between this and this is the plane of movement and where it's lined up with. When I'm here, I go to the center. When I'm here, I go to the side, right? Or here. So if you create those lines, then how this looks and how this looks are different, right? One is kind of there, other is precisely there as an accuracy of movement, direction. When you're here, it's in front of the nose, nowhere else. When you're here, it's to, say, your navel or to the groin area as a thrust. There's your low, and you go lower by not reaching, but by sinking. See? So you sink, and you open, and you chop. So we just went over chopping. So we're here, thrust, open, edge of the hand, cutting hand, chop. Edges. So the hand has to drop, then has to turn to get that edge. You have to get that edge. Now, edging is pretty important. Some of you guys ski. You have to cut those edges, right? Or you skate. The edges have to be very sharp because you can make clean lines. So when you're doing movement, it's carving those movements, and they have to be very crisp. So when you're here and here, this movement is like this. It's turning out. So you have this movement as one here or one here, right? One's against the waist, one's forearm distance away from the waist. Remember when we talked about this to this to this, this becomes this movement. See how that movement and this movement come into play. And when you chop, this arm has to be long, Max. Because this is called a diagonal strike. Diagonal strikes go like this, right? So this hand is long, this hand is short, fold. So why these are important is because when you get to, say, you know, the weapons and you have movements and you have a sword in your hand like this and you chop and you chop and you chop like this, those two actions become the same motion you have when you have a couple of swords in your hand. They're short swords. Sometimes the long ones actually work the same way. So that action becomes an important movement. Same as when you go like this, edge of your hand, when you have a sword and you slice and you chop, you recognize those two movements? That's why you can't do this like this. Because if you don't extend it, you don't have that motion. So the extension of movement, because when you do apparatus, whatever it is, a stick, a sword, whatever it is, it's an extension of your body. If your body isn't moving correctly, that extension is going to be off too. But because it's extension body, it becomes magnified. You can see something that's long out there. If it's not in line, then it's going to be way off, because the further out you go, the way, off target will be much more apparent. So that's why when we draw the lines, it's important to see where it's going to go. So when we do our movements, the eye should be tracking the hands, right? So here, you gaze down, you open, you chop, you strike. You see this is the long arm. This is the short arm. This is the blade of your leg. Then you step, press, phoenix eye. So the direction of the phoenix eye is the same direction as your fingertip. So those two techniques are similar as far as direction. So if you get it with one, you're going to get it with both. Now what's usually not correct or maybe compromised is your legs. So if you go like this, you're not deep enough in your stance. So you have to get into your stance. And why is this so important to be here? Because when I step to here, and my weight isn't right there, then your next step is going to be like that. So when you take your step, you're going to have, it's going to be, compromised. It's not going to be not as rooted. Not your foundation won't be as good. So when you're here and I step, then I can control this leg. If I'm here and I'm partially in my stance, I can't control it because I don't have enough weight on this side. So your weight goes into your legs 50-50. 50% of your weight. But you can't shift when you're 50-50. See what that means? When you're here, everybody go into horse stance. You really can't get out of your horse stance. You can't get out. You can't move. If you want to move the right leg or left leg, you have to shift one way or the other. So when you shift, that might not be enough. You have to shift more to take your step. If you go backwards, you're doing the same thing. So footwork is that. Just say, for instance, we go into dragon claw. When we step backwards, we have to shift first. We just can't do this. I mean, you can, but that's not actually the best way to go. When you're here, you shift, then you move this foot, then you can pivot, and then you feel controlled. Right? If I go like this and then step out, I have to shift my weight back in order to get my feet in the right place. So the horse stance is sort of the interim position. It's the shifting between your leaning stance and the stance you just came from. So you have to learn to shift like that, because when you get into the longer forms, it's footwork. There's a lot of footwork, and because our forms are so long, they really work your legs if you're in your stance. But if you're not in your stance, you don't get that same benefit. But once you've sort of gained, the strength in your legs and the habit of shifting your weight, then you can do all your forms with the same technique. Shift your weight, move your stance. So what do? We go just high, low, twist, and we're here, right? When we shift, and then we have control of the position, we shift, partial here to here. Then we have to shift. So there's a phase in the movement where you're moving backwards and then moving downward. You're moving forward, then you're moving downward. So downward is sinking, means settle into your stance and put your body weight into that for the strength in the leg. Okay. So let's bring some of those concepts into your second form. All right, go to the second form. We'll go through it. It'll be a good review for you. We'll talk through it. But instead of focusing on the upper hand movement, work with the lower leg movement, and then see if you can. Then if you have any questions about how you should make that transition, then we can work on that. All right. Okay, ready? Okay. Everybody, and you can move in a little. You want to move over here? Yeah, right here is good. Maybe right here. You can stand here. That way you can come over here. Andrew, yeah. Okay, ready? Eyes staring straight ahead. So first thing, when you pull back, you lift your elbows, you pull this way. If you put your hands there, then you don't have control of your elbow, right? So you want to lift your elbow, pull, boom. That's like an elbow strike. Think like you're poking behind, boom. That creates directional force. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so always try to get into habit of this. 1, 2. Because this is the first line of sinking when you're here. First you get this, then you get this. Because once you're down here, then you just have to do that. If you don't bend your knees first, you know what you have to do? See? So you set that leg up first, and then you can extend it, and you're stable here. Right? See? Then when you turn, you're stable here. Then you adjust, and then we're here. Then we pull back. We sit and turn, and then turn this foot out. Shift and step up, and punch out. So that's how your legs should be working, right? Then pull back. Now once we salute, you pull back. And then we turn, shift, come to here. Now we're still bent. Now we're up. Drop. Punch. Open. Scoop. Now we're already down, so we just have to twist. Step up. We're going to punch, but you have to drop. You have to step back, leaving this leg here until we get to here. And then here. Now this is going to come like this, but because we're moving forward, we just have to turn it over. And your wrist should be like that. So there's your leg. Here's your press. Kick and punch. Okay. So we're here, right? Chop, scoop, press, kick if we're doing the hands. Leaning, now kick the heels out, sink. 1, 2. Sliding step, punch. Okay, step through, diagonal strike. You can remember front arm is long, but it's actually over here. Don't overturn. Yeah, straighten a little more. Yeah, like that. Because this is your plane of, this is where the action is right here. You don't, over here, actually there's nothing going on over there. All right, ready? Lift, double block. So let's do it again. Lift from here. Open, turn. So that gives you this, and this has to focus. Fingers can create, you can spread them. Yeah. So when you spread them, you feel strength. Put the fingers together. It's not as strong because the strength is lost by squeezing your fingers together. Okay, elbows down. Dragon. A little longer. Good. So elbow max, your elbows should be in slightly. And your wrists focus like that. Because you have long arms, you have to be this far away. All right. So a lot of positions, if you once you're kind of fixed, get the muscle memory, right? 1, 2. Okay, so you're looking toward the bottom hand. So the image for this is like this. You're here, 1. Actually, you just come to here. You see what happens? This is leg work now. 1. Now the weight is here. 2, 3. That's when you sink. You first go from here, shift, step, sink, turn. Okay, so we got that. Sliding step, palm. Okay, scoop, press, kick. Jump back. So when you kick, take a double step back. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So that double step back is, you could jump back a little bit as a double step, or you kick and you step. and you go like that, right? So when you kick, what this is the footwork. If you try to say, if you try to kick this foot, so if you try to kick this foot, I switch feet. So that's a switching of feet. That's what that is. So you kick. Now you're not down yet. You're down here. You're up here by turning, but you don't straighten the knees. You lift the back, and then you drop again. Then you turn the blade of the foot. 1, 2. Hands here, turn. Sliding step. Punch. Okay, reach behind the arm to where your tricep is. Draw a turn, elbow. A little lower like that. Strike down. Back fist. Okay, next. Sliding step. Punch. Okay, get a little power in that punch. Okay, step through, diagonal strike. Strike, good. And then this is here. Like this, don't overturn. So your body, the most you turn is like this. Your chest is in this 45. If you turn more, your hand ends up there, you're exposed here. When you're here, you're still somewhat protected. Okay, then double up. So you're here. 1, then from here, lift. So when from here, come, fold your arm, and then come up. Good. Elbow down. Dragon. Right? Cross step. Remember, shift first. Like this. And then palm. Scoop, press, kick. Jump back. Okay. Deep. Go a little deeper. Sink in the stance. Yeah. Okay. This here. Open. Like that. Good. Chop. Twist. Kick. Phoenix. Okay, now here's the butterfly. Open this leg. Turn other foot toward it. Cross step. Flip. Step out. Push. Shift. Step. Shift. Step. Step. Push. Step through center. 1, 2. Step through center. 1, 2. Shift. Pass through center. Horse stance. Middle block. 1, you're offset. 2. Right, and this is here. 1, elbow. Strike down. Back fist. Okay, set up your fingers for sword finger. Turn. Lift. Okay, good. Yeah. So, and the fingertips facing outward. Okay. Now relax the shoulders. Cross over. Shift your weight to the front leg when you get to here and turn. Take your step. Press forward. Thrust. Sink. Now the weight is here because I push off and I bring this foot to here and salute. 1, 2, 3. So if you do your leg work like that, you get much more control of your center, and you're going to be balanced throughout your form. Otherwise, you get sloppy because you don't go through this procedure. Then you're kind of not balanced and you feel uncomfortable. So the whole premise of doing this is to develop control of your coordination and then your limbs. And then your body actually builds coordination too. So once you build that coordination, all your forms should have that same, characteristics of body work, body integrity, leg work. So it doesn't matter if it's the first form or the 8th form. Consistency. You have to be consistent in your movement. because we have a dragon claw in the first form, and that's the first thing you learn. Then you go to fifth form, and you have a dragon claw. Slightly different as far as sequence, but the thing is, it's the same technique. One other movement that, we have lots of movement that, but one movement, the corner back fist that you have 1, 2. Later when you learn the corner back fist, whether it's double, it's the same one. But finding that position over and over and over again, you find that once you muscle memoried it, that's what muscle memory is. So you're not from here, but from here, from here. Yeah. So when you set up your elbow, your movement will come out better, right? So then there's a specific alignment of where that strike should go, and then it will be defined. Okay, so let's try that form one more time with the same, so you can remember the footwork. Okay, ready? 1, 2, sink, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Here, Brian. Over here. No, you stay there. Brian will come here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, actually over here. Okay. Punch. 1, reverse. Lean. Chop. Scoop, press, kick. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Scoop, press, kick, jump back. 1, 2, 3. Twist, kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chop, twist, kick, phoenix. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, pause. 2, step, reverse. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cross, trap, step through, thrust, shift, sink. Okay. All right. So one thing about transitioning from horse to leaning, a leaning stance, this foot does turn a little bit, but don't overturn it. You'll lose your balance. And actually, even if you left it there completely and just turned and left that there, it's going to be much more stable. Because if you transition and you're moving both feet, you're actually kind of floating in your stance. See? So you should turn one at a time. 1, 2. So the back leg needs to turn because the hip has to be here. This can actually end up turning and closing. That's okay to leave it like that. But you don't want this foot to be in motion when you're pivoting off your back foot. Because if you leave the front foot in motion, then, yeah. So when you turn, okay, so let's all try that. Let's just get into horse stance. Let's try that a few times, right? Just pivot. 1, 2. Okay, if we adjust this a little bit, then just leave it there and turn. Okay, pull back. Now here you kick the heels out. Here you turn. Open, sink, 1, 2. So your feet kind of stay parallel. See, so if I'm in an offset horse, this is a horse stance, offset, and I turn just enough to keep them almost parallel or parallel. You don't want this one to be straight and this one to be this. See what I mean? So that's something that's, when you're first learning forms, you're not paying attention, but you don't have the control. But the reason why we do this pivoting and shifting is to learn how to do that. And turning, that's a pivoting, that's an opening of the stance. So when we turn, we have to open the leg like this before we can actually step through. If you don't turn and you try to step through, then this foot is stuck, you see. So that's, just taking the concepts down to your legs so you know how to transition. Your feet are important in steering you in the direction. If I'm here and I want to take a step like in Bangbu Kun, this one is straight, but then when I'm in a horse stance, it turns. If I pull back, then it stays straight. Okay, like when you turn, you can toe in. This is the ball of the foot. That takes you like this. If I'm on the heel of the foot, you see the feet spread. The feet spread, you end up having to do that. So it's more efficient to do it this way. And then you can step through here to find that. So if you analyze your footwork, then you'll have a better understanding. So a lot of this, it's overlooked in the beginning, but now that you've learned several forms, you should at least keep this in mind. Then your body will catch up to that understanding we're talking about, because the body in the beginning will just say, okay, this is what we're supposed to do, but it doesn't cooperate in the beginning because the coordination isn't built yet. Now, if you already picked up on that, then you just continue with that strategy and then you can improve. But that front foot is important. So, because once I bring weight to here, that has to be like it's grabbing the floor. When you sit back, this leg is grabbing the floor. When you're stepping down like this and you put your weight here and you go up, then you have to control the vertical, projection upward. Because if you go here and then you start to do that, what happens? Too much force and momentum going in the wrong direction. So you have to time the movement to go from here to here, and then it goes straight up, right? Just like when we're here, we have to shift and then go up. If you're here and you shift, you could tip over because you have forces going that way. You want the force to go like this and then like that. Because movement really creates directional forces, and that's what you're controlling. If you punch, the directional force is there, right? If you're striking like this and striking to there, the directional force is there. So that's what you're dealing with. That's what martial arts is training for strikes or blocks, right? Okay, so let's see. You want to go through third form? You're ready for start third form? Or yeah, I don't know. Let's see if Kim can do that. So Kim. You mind working with a couple of people on the third form? Just the opening of the third form? Bangbu Kun, yeah. So we have Max, then we have Andrew down the back there. They all actually worked on it. You can be in there. Yes, if you want. Or you can be here, either way. Wherever you feel comfortable. It's cooler in there. Okay. Yeah, so Max, you can go there. Andrew, you want to go down there? You can start third form, even though I think your second form is, you just have to keep practicing, but I think you got it memorized. So you can work in there. Okay. Okay, so we'll run through third form, and then we'll go through some of the things that are in the third form that is critical to make it sort of better. Okay, we'll line it up. Ready? So, Irish, you want to begin here, lead it? So, Bangul Kun's a praying mantis form, so we'll go through the actions. Ready? Eyes staring straight ahead. So, remember, when you focus, you're here. 1, 2, 3. And like the edging that we talked about, you're here, you're going to bend your knee, step out, and turn. And you're going to hop and sink. So the transition, remember, the transition is this, the execution is this. So every time you punch, you should sink in your stance and stay solid. But it's kind of sometimes misinterpreted that we're punching down, but we're not aiming down. We're punching horizontally, but sinking. So it looks like it's going down, but the hand is actually, it's just part of the... So it's still about shoulder height. Yeah, so it's still here. Right here. Your toe should be here. Yeah, like that. And that foot can be actually, this foot can be parallel, yeah, like that. And then sink down your stance. Yeah. So that's the direction. See, remember, just in case it's not clear to you, if you're in a 45-degree position like this, both feet 90 degrees, and you shift your weight and the toe goes out, and you turn your body, that's how the stance should be. Should be like this. Now, because this is the line that I'm looking at, this should be like this. So what you're doing is this. Now here's the line, right? And then we're going back to here. So now we're here, and then we hop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in this form, the front foot can be straight because these feet, the feet are actually more in line. Then you step through, punch, grab, punch, elbow, back fist, turn, thrust, pull. Okay, so when you pull, both hands are fists. Yeah, so you're here, you pull down, then you go high, ginger knuckle, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we're here, punch, down, up, hop, hold for this position again. So in your uppercut position, this is closer, like this. Sink in the stance. Yeah. Over the head. So you should be in your stance, this foot a little further. Bend your knees, sit as low as you can. Like this. Yeah. Okay, try to get it over the head a little bit. Yeah. Okay, now sink in the stance. This can be even a little bit higher. Okay, go. 1, 2, 3, lunge. Okay, so here, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 1, 2. There's that sink. See, shift, pull. Push, hook, shift, step, elbow, shift, elbow, high, drop your elbow, spin out, take it from here, hook, pull back and turn, double elbow. Okay, step out and slice. There's your slice to the edge of the hand. Hold it there. Yeah, and this is like this. Okay. This is, okay, punch. Yeah, left punch. Okay, left sweep. 1, 2, 3. Jump kick. Right hook. Okay, good. Now once we're here, squat down, cut. 1, cut. 2, cut. So let's try that again. So we're hooked like this. Drop down and pause. Okay, hold it for a second. So you want your elbow a little bit shorter than that. Oops, okay. Lift the knee. If you pull it in, then you have more, feel more stable. Right? This is actually like this. Yeah. Oop, this. Yeah, bend. Yeah, like that. So they're on the same plane. So you're like this. 1. So the elbow is shorter, like this. 2. Not like this. Yeah, so you're like this. Okay, and then after the third one, you do the vertical elbow. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so a vertical, yeah, it's here. So it's a short elbow in this corner. And then from there, you're going to turn, punch, punch, right? 1, 2, 3. Then you go like this. 1, uppercut. Okay, sweep. 1, 2, 3. Then you turn the other way. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hook it. Left hook and chop. Pull back. So you have, yep, so we have a back fist adjustment. One movement back. We got the hook. We have the hook. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Step. 4. Shift. Turn. Sink. Okay, now from there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when you break down your movements into phases, you have timing. Now back fist, maneuvering, say the back fist, hook, back fist, hook, back fist. So back fist is this. We have Wai Kung Ji Kunzi, like the fifth form, is fundamental because we do this. Double back fist. Double back fist. So back fist is pretty standard in all forms, right? But as a basic maneuver for practicing, if you just did this, right? And you bend your knees and your elbows at the same time. You bend your knees and your elbows. See the mechanism when you fold like this and you fold like this and you let it back out. That creates a back fist. A back fist is not just this. A back fist is this. Because we're doing two hands, we're just cranking it over. And you see my elbow moving, right? Because if I didn't move my elbow, I actually couldn't create that motion. But in a back fist, you're actually doing this. So I'm folding my elbow here, and then I'm straightening it out here. So if I'm folding my elbow and I'm straightening it out here, my movement is this. So if I did one on both sides, if everybody tries this, if I did this, right? You see the hands essentially are doing this motion. You see how my two hands are blending together like this? Okay, so we'll move back. That's called a secondary hand. The secondary hand is your support hand. We have support hands in everything that we do. If we go like this, we have this. We go like this, and we have this, right? We have this, so these kind of support each other. These support each other. These support each other as doubles. This supports the back fist. This supports the back fist. 1, 2. This supports the trapping hand. This supports the dropping palm. So see, I call that the secondary hand. It's very important to get your other hand to work with the primary hand, because that's the hand that doesn't know what to do. You know, if you throw a punch at someone, what do you do with the other hand? So your goal with the other hand is to either be a defensive or offensive position. So it's usually a defensive position, because if I go like this hand has to be here. If I go like this hand is more effective to be there. So that's, you know, kind of hand or intelligence, body intelligence, because when I turn this way and I go like this, the fact that I did this, now you watch this movement, right? You see the movements, Max? When I turn, I turn, I turn. So if you were to extract a transition out of that, what would you see? What would you see, Iris? If I went like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have certain positions in there, right? And the positions you already know. So you almost saw it, right? Trapping hand to turn, trapping hand. So trapping hand is this. Passing through is this. So if they didn't punch toward my stomach, when I went like this, I essentially did like a trapping hand. 1, 2, 3. But if I made it one continuous motion, I went like this, it would be that. Right? So the integration of the hands and the hands and the hands and the hands and the hands become combinations of techniques. Now I just did this. Did you see where that, you know where that came from, right? You saw that before. We did this before, did this before. We have that in the middle blocks. We have that in a transition in second form. So what they become are techniques, and you become, very quick with a reflex action, and because your body knows it. So if your hand is in this position, what are your options? My hand is here. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Right? Those are 3 different things that we kind of know from our forms, right? I was here. I went like this. That's this. When I'm here, or if I'm here, I have that. So as you start to get all this stuff into your sort of subconscious, that your body knows it, but you don't have to think about it, then it becomes a reflex. So when the hands react, because we're doing this, right? Your natural reaction for something that comes here might be this. It's because you're protecting yourself, so that's a controlled reflex. An uncontrolled reflex is this. That's defensive, but that's survival reflex. What's a survival reflex? You want to cover up so you don't get hit. But the thing is, if something was thrown at you, you might not be able to react faster, so you would either blink or duck. Right? Those are instincts. Those are survival instincts. But a controlled reflex is, if something comes at you, you might try to catch it or deflect it because you see it. But you're going to respond like that if you kind of practice that motion a bit. So that's what we're trying to develop, is through repetition and experience and understanding the ability to react and respond. So you do that through learning your forms, building coordination, and understand the strategy of what you're learning. So it becomes, a lot more complicated than you would think in the beginning. Why would you learn 20 forms or 10 forms before you can learn really to block a punch? Because your body has to go through this process. So you learn all these complex things just to learn a simple punch. But in the long run, your body has gained experience. Otherwise, how else do you gain it? You can think about it, but it doesn't happen. But actually, the third form doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good. So let's run through the fourth form, then we'll go to fifth form. So we won't do any drills today. The exercises. We'll just work, no conditioning. We'll just work on structure and form. So let's go to the fourth form, and maybe you want to lead it? Yeah, you can lead it, and Iris can go here, and then after that we'll go to fifth form, because you're all on fifth form. Oh, except, yeah. Okay, ready? Eyes turn, shed ahead, fourth form, begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, lift up, cross. Wrists, 1, 2, 3. Go to your left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, close. 1, trap. Palm, form the fist, short punch. 1, 2. Other side. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. So after you go 1, 2, 3, go lift, pull back, cross. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wrist block, fold, step. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Turn. 1, 2, 1, 2. Change directions. Scoop. Uppercut. Remove. Punch, punch. Turn. Scoop. Remove. 1, 2. Change directions. Sliding step punch. Step up. Horse stance. Yeah, so you're in a horse stance now. And we do the second set of these 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 3 palms. 1, 2, 3. 3 punches. Step. Shift the weight. Try to use the same concepts that we did earlier. Sliding step. Punch. Reach. Elbow. Strike down. Back fist. Cutting hand. Double palm. Turn. Jump. Corner back fist. Sliding step palm in that corner. Double up. Double back fist. Okay, let's go like this. 1, we have a sliding step. And then when we step up, that gives us that position. Here's that double back fist. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stomp. Turn this way first. Flip. Push. Cat stance. Drunken fist. Adjust high. Just like in the third form. Scoop 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Turn. Open. Hop. Sliding step. Punch. Turn and close. Okay, deep breathing. So I know we spent, a bit of time on the fourth form in the past, and you guys have been on it a while. So let's go to fifth form, right? And you've completed the form? Yeah, okay. So maybe, Brian, you know fifth form completely? Okay, so you can move there. Then Iris, you can move here. Yeah. And then, yeah, Rose can stay there. So you started it, right? No? No, not at all. You know, okay, we'll go through the first section of it anyway so that you can follow along. And, yeah. So you've done some too, right? Yeah. So the opening is just like 5 stances until we go into the next second piece. So let's start off like this. 1, 2, 3. 1. So extend it out. Look at my arms. Okay. 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we do the salute. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Bend, just like in the horse dance drills, right? We do a double block. 1. Okay, once you do a double block, you find your center line and you go to this position. So it's like a prayer position. The hands come out, but they extend. You see, so you're here. 1, 2, 3. Then you set up your fingers, draw back 3 times. That's 1, 2, 3. Elbow up, grab, and push. Elbow up, grab, and push. Elbow up, grab, and push. On 4, you wrist block, thrust, sink, cross, open, cross, open, cross, cover. This is called covering. So you're doing this. We lift up and drop the elbows. That's the corner back fist. Okay, so here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this cross hand, 1 on each side is really your middle block, right? So, because this is fundamental, when you learn this, either one of those can be used as a block. Once you cross and you open, look at this as just imagine this. If a punch comes, you block. If another punch comes, that's all you have to do. Right? Between this and this are 2 blocks. This is just to practice the movement. So we went like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 movements that you just program into your body, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how do you memorize that? You do it over and over again. And your hands become quick. Now you know this, you know this, you know this, you know this. It's cover, cover. Right? That's just a low block. Right? So you 2 of them with a fist. 2 of these are back fists. You have 1 on this side, you have 1 on this side. But this and this, cross hands, you know when you went like this. Right? Right, so there's a cross hand with the 2 like this. This is your double back fist. So that gives you a sample of what you can do with those hand moves. So let's go again from here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and then on 4, right, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's up, down, thrust, sink. Then this is where you do cross, open, cross, open. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1. Okay, so you want to practice that? You can practice that series if you can. So you can run through it some more. Keep going, okay? Yeah, go from there. Take your steps, take your first step, horse stance, suspended horse, get your hands on your hips, trap. Yeah, go from the beginning, that section, yeah. Do it, can do it together, yeah. Just do the section after gunji, after this, just do this section together 3 times, yeah. Okay, hold. So let's hold that elbow position again before yeah, yeah. So you want it like this. So a little bit tighter. No, in here, closer, shorter. Yeah, because when you're blocking like this, you don't want it out there. You don't have any strength. You want it so your shoulder actually has to come. See how my back is rounded? Yeah, and then when you go like this, then from here you're gonna go right from here, lift, chop. Yeah. 1, 2. Is that where? Yeah. Oh, Yari. Okay, turn. Palm. Elbow. Thrust. Cut. Push. Pull. Back fist. Step. Okay, here's your dragon. 1. Oh, you're good. 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. High. Lift. Pull back. Double back fist. 1, 2, 3. Push. Turn. Hook. Uppercut. 1. Oh, actually, this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn, cut, push, close. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, sweep. 3. 1, 2. Left, right. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Close. Okay, good. Sequentially, everyone's pretty good with it. It's just a matter of understanding some of the transition. So the right side, let's do this. 1, 1, 2, 3. So the hands stay there. Sit back, turn the waist, lift, drop the elbows. So drop the elbows here and then wind up like this. Now, when you take a step, lift the back so the back is up, down, cross, poke, open, push. 1, 2, 3, and up. Okay, so the left side is exactly the same. So most of the left side movements, you may have a little trouble with it because you've been doing the right side all this time. These two back fists are the same. This is the same, it's just different stance. This is a little different, it's on this side. Push, and this is on this side. So let's stop here for a second. So the elbows like this. Right, so a little bit lower, relax, yeah. And that's there. Now, before you swing, make a fist, go in the stance, strike. Now when this hooks, this continues around. And then cross, open, sliding step, punch, adjust, elbow, roll, lift. So when you lift, Brian, don't squat down. Just turn, go up, and then turn, and then flip, push, and then you turn, close, and salute. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, good. So first line of sequence is good. Any questions? No? So you guys, you just finished it, or you finished it? And you just finished recently? Or you did, you started it and just finished it, and you finished it just this past weekend, yeah. So it's good. So just, refine all the stuff that you have throughout all the forms, and then we can, move on. Because when you get your yellow belt, first weapon you'd learn is stick form. So if you practice this more, then we can refine some of and get the rest of your stripes. Let's go. Okay. So run through that one more time together, and see if you can go through it without pausing. Stay together though. Ready? Go. $97.6? 94. Oh. So Eric, do you do Zooms? Do you host them? So I was just wondering, when they do the recording, is yours automatically recorded?
It doesn't automatically record. You have to.
Yeah. So mine are automatically recorded. So I went to it and I've been copying them. I go to the date that it's recorded and I share it, but the URL that it's sharing with says it's the wrong one, and it comes right from Zoom. So I share it with Ed Wellesley, but the thing is, the students haven't been able to open it, so I don't know if they did something to the settings in the department. So I have a question in there, because the URL that's in there should be the right one, right? If you should be.
There's different ways to do it depending on how the IT people set it up. So for our system, we can either save to the computer or save to the cloud.
Yeah, this is saved to the cloud.
It's like they're doing direct save.
Yeah, they saved to the cloud, but when it goes to, on Zoom, when you click on the recording, it says share, then a window comes up and it said copied. So then I take that copy and I do Command V and it goes there. And I do the link to it, it turns blue. So the link is there, but when you try to open it, so I don't know if they did something in the settings to make it.
Are they getting a message that tells them something?
Yeah, it tells them that the URL is not right or something. Yeah.
Oh,
So, yeah.
and you can't see it either after? Or can you?
I can, well, you can see it on the site and on Zoom, but if you share it and send out that link, when they try to open it, it doesn't open. So maybe I got a question. I got to call into the department.
Check the department or someone in IT at Wellesley or something.
Yeah, I just go to the registry office where they're doing all, because everybody's Zooming. So I don't know if I'm the only one that has trouble, because it worked the first time. Because Lucian did it, and we did it, and we tried doing it in attachments as a URL, it wouldn't work. We copied it in the body of the form, on the body of the email, clicked it did open, so I said, oh, that's good. But then all the subsequent ones, I thought they'd been working, and so I think
The few times I've used the link, I've just shared it.
so I think some of the students have been copying that link and then taking it to a search engine and then finding it, and then they opened it.
Oh.
So much for protecting it, right? Because Zoom can send it out, but if you have the link, anybody can open it, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll bow, we'll line up. Eric, you want to get them lined up over there? Okay, so we'll get a couple of stripes. And Brian, Max. Here, Rose, you should get, so moving up fast. 2 hands, yeah. So moving along. Actually, your mom should get a set too. Oh, did I give you 3?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I get one more set for Jasmine, because so you should get your stripes too. Actually, you should get stripes too. Giving them away like hotcakes. Oh, well, we got a couple minutes. Get your stripes up there. Yeah. We're going to have a new weapons group soon. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Jasmine, come up. Max, want to come up? Yeah. No photo op. Nobody's taking pictures. Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Okay, good. And bow. 3. Okay, salute. Salute. Okay, good.